Hey. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use the Google Map Tracker, which gives you ranking grids and heat maps of your Google business profiles. I've already created a report for you to understand and examine exactly how the reports work. So to access it, simply click on the project name or detail, and you'll see an overview of your keywords, how many of them are in the top 1 to 3, how many of them are in the top 4 to 10, and how many of them are in the top 11 to 20 results. And you can see the parameters that you've set for your grid, including the size, the distance between each grid spot, and the average ranking across all of the grid positions, as well as the latest grid and the grid compared in the previous grid, and the time the grid is going to next be updated. To view more details about the grid, click on Detail. Right up here you have an overall summary of your keyword rankings across different points in the grid. You have the average ranking across the points, you have an average rating for your reviews, you have how many keywords you have in the top 1 to 3, 4 to 10, top 11 to 20, and the top 21 plus. This is where the magic happens. The grid functions like any Google My Business grid. The higher you the rank, the greener it gets. And naturally, positions number 1 are the greenest. On the other hand, as you go lower, it gets redder. And positions number 21 and plus, which are the worst, are a deep dark red. To view competitors at any particular geographical point on this grid, click in the point, and you can browse the names of all the competitors along with their star ratings and their number of reviews. You also get the geo coordinates of that spot in case you want to use it later for SEO purposes. Right over here in the top ranking competitors, you've got an overview of where you stand in comparison to your competing listings in GMB, their average ranking positions across the grid, their number of review ratings, and the average review rating, and the primary category of each GMB. You can export this report as a CSV, and it will download right away. Also, you can click on each ranking grid to compare where your maps listing was a month before, for example, or a week before, and where it is now. You can also export these grids into a GIF animation so that you can see the progression of the GMB listing over time. To create a report, on the initial page of Google Map Tracker, click on Add New Project at the top right. Select the client matching your project. Enter in a name that you want to label the project with. Roto, for example, I'm just going to use Roto-Rooter as an example here. Next, copy-paste the name of your GMB exactly as it appears in the GMB. Click on Search Profile, and then select the one that matches the closest. In this case, I'm going to choose the one that's in Kima. Now, if your profile does not show up among these searches, it's likely because it's a service area business. Not a problem. That's how it is with the Google Maps API. Those service area businesses with hidden addresses typically don't show up. There is a workaround for it, and it is taking the profile link to the GMB. Simply search your GMB on Google Maps and copy this link from Google Maps and paste it directly here. Next, enter in the keywords and search terms you want to run the report for. For example, plumbing service near me, plumber near me, drain clearing, leak repairs. Next, you can choose how often you want the report to run. You can either check it manually with no recurring reports, or on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. For this report, I'm going to make it weekly. Next, select the grid size of the report. I'm going to make it 9 by 9 points large. Lastly, you set the distance between these points. You can either set the distance in miles, or if you prefer the metric system, in kilometers. For now, we're just going to leave it at the default 1/10 of a mile. And then create your project to run your report. Please bear in mind that every Google Maps report will take a few minutes to run as we're fetching the rankings from the API. And there you have it. You've got a nice overview of your rankings for each of these keywords, and you can very clearly see which one of these doesn't perform well and which one of these does perform well. So for instance, we got drain clearing and plumber near me and plumbing service near me, which seems to be green in a lot of the areas with average rankings of 7.9 to 9.7. But this one is like below position 10 on average, very few green spots. It gives you an indicator of what to work on in terms of your GMB and your local ranking. All right? Of course, if you got any question about this or any other tool in Zizta, feel free to pop a message in the support chat in the lower right or leave a comment on this video. You can also join our Facebook or Skype communities to interact with other local SEOs who are using and making the most of Zizta. Thank you so much for watching, and happy SEOing!